The Roto-World Fantasy Football Draft Guide is now available exclusively through a new partnership with Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life. Get a Fantasy Life Plus subscription and receive the Roto-World Draft Guide plus fantasy, DFS, and betting tools to help you dominate the draft all season long. Use promo code ROTO10 for 10% off. Go to NBCSports.com/fantasylife to learn more.
There's a waiver bid tool. There are parlay builder tools. It's not just about drafting. If you're like, oh, well, I've done my draft. This is all. There's a league sync that helps you sync all your teams and figure out, oh, these are trades you should suggest. Again, whatever scoring you have, it's an unbelievable tool for DFS, for pick'ems, for season-long fantasy, for dynasty, you name it, all there. Fantasy Life Plus.
Who's
just telling you?
Who's Eating Good, served by Applebee's, our bold wide receiver predictions. But before we get there, let's take a look at a Cooper Kupp clone that might be out there. Watch this.
Hey, now. Look at that.
Tracking. There you go. Wow. Even with the bad shadows. Is this MetLife, right?
Wow. You see the explosiveness. There you go. The explosiveness at the ball. Again, accurate, right? Exactly.
Right in the sunset. Not easy.
And I had to reach out for it. RG3 didn't hit me in stride.
A little rusty.
He had been throwing a lot of balls, but that's, same thing. That was at the Verizon My Access event.
We done got footage of you playing corner, now receiver, so you like Travis Hunter out there.
I like a young Travis Hunter out there. 1,000%. Two-way player. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, is there anything I can't do?
I don't know.
All of the above, I think.
Don't let us answer that question.
Not that I can see.
We're going to opt out of responding.
Can't not drink a Diet Coke.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough.
Oh, man. Can you do a wide receiver bold prediction?
I can do that, my friends. And so my bold prediction, it's interesting. Lawrence is all in on Bryce Young. Well, who's he going to be throwing to? Diontae Johnson. Yes, that's my bold prediction. Diontae Johnson finishes as a top 12 fantasy wide receiver this season, despite the fact that he's going, I've seen him go outside the top 30 at wide receiver in some drafts as well. Look, this is somebody in 2021 that finished as wide receiver 8 in points per game. 4 straight seasons with a target share of at least 22%. Last year, 43% of his team's end zone targets. Dave Canales has already come out and said, this is going to be the focal point of our passing offense, right? Remember last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were second in the NFL under Dave Canales in wide receiver target share. And so now you've got a team that has an elite wide receiver in Diontae Johnson. The best way, you think about what he did for Baker Mayfield last year. Well, part of that was hey, Baker, keep throwing it to Mike Evans.
Yep.
And obviously, Diontae Johnson's a very different wide receiver physically than Mike Evans, but the fact of the matter is he is a true number one in this league, and he's going to get fed like that. And so, give me Diontae Johnson as a top 12 fantasy wide receiver this year.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave any of my drafts without him. He's got an 1,100-yard season under his belt. You see what Adam Thielen was able to do. He was a top 10 fantasy receiver through 10 weeks last season, people. That's Diontae Johnson now, so buy in.
How about another wide receiver you're buying in on?
Garrett Wilson, definitely. And for Garrett Wilson, I'm going to go, you could call it bold, but if you know the talent and seeing that he's won 1,000 yards twice already, I'm going he's going to top 1,500 yards this season. This is why, because his quarterback's not Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle, Joe Flacco, Mike White. Shout out to Chris Streveler over there in the CFL. It's Aaron Rodgers, right? Now, while he's not Devontae Adams, you can't tell me that he don't got that type of potential. And with Aaron Rodgers' last 3 seasons with Devontae Adams, where he started at least 14 games, he averaged 116 receptions, over 1,400 yards, and 14 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to get the 14 touchdowns, but 1,500 yards is in play for a guy like Garrett Wilson who could beat you at every spot on the field.
Couldn't agree more, Lawrence. The further that Garrett Wilson gets away from the Joe Flacco era, the better that he will be. Aaron Rodgers, much bigger.
It's going to be a monster. Yep. Guys, I'm staying with the New York wide receiver.
Is that comeback player of the year,
Joe
Flacco?
That's what I was alluding to, Matthew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
how's he doing right now?
Yeah.
Backing up Anthony Richardson.
I don't know. He's doing fine. He's
living life. He's
comeback player of the year.
Check, I tell you that.
I'll tell you this.
Playoff game from Flacco.
He's on an NFL roster, which a year ago he wasn't.
That's true.
He's happy he's not on his couch.
On a nice backup quarterback contract.
Great comeback from Netflix on the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Inspiring.
I'll go with another New York wide receiver. How about the newcomer, Malik Neighbors? I think he finishes as a top 10 wide receiver. Malik Neighbors. Not in Giants media. They know how good he is because they've watched him now since the spring. Yeah. But the world still doesn't know how talented this guy is, right? He could finish have a better wide receiver season than Marvin Harrison Jr. this year. Just a volume. Yeah. He's the guy for the Giants. And I think, listen, Daniel Jones is not good, I understand, but he's good enough. He's good enough to get Malik Neighbors the ball.
1,000%.
Daniel Jones isn't a guy that you're looking at and calling a franchise quarterback anymore. You're starting in fantasy as a QB1. But he's better than people realize where he can get that is number one wide receiver the ball in Brian Daboll's offense. That's what matters. People
were fading, and I raised my hand because I was one of them. People were fading Mike Evans last year because of Baker Mayfield. Oh, like Baker's no good. No, we have seen this before. We have seen fantasy wide receivers have productive seasons on a quarterback. Like, now the narrative has changed. But 2 years ago, no one thought Jared Goff was any good. And Amon-Ra St. Brown was putting up points. Like, Daniel Jones is and I don't say this as a disrespecting, Daniel Jones is a professional NFL quarterback. Like, is he great? No. Is he the franchise guy? Probably not. Is he worth the money that the Giants are paying him? Also probably not. Can he get the ball somewhere near to Malik Neighbors so that Neighbors can come down with it? 100%.
He might get 100 catches.
I think the Giants are going to surprise people by being more competent than people expect
the
this
front seven's very good.
There are a lot of people whose jobs are on the line in that organization. If they're not good this year, I think Daboll's gone, Daniel Jones is gone. Like, there are a lot of incentives for this team to do everything possible to get the most out of this year specifically. Like, they can't be tanking.
I don't think Daboll's gone.
You sure?
Too good.
He's coach of the year 2 years ago.
Right.
Like, I mean, come on.
People get fired after winning coach of the year a lot. It's a strange thing.
It happened to Vrabel.
Vrabel lost in 2 years. Vrabel didn't do anything wrong either.
Right.
He's gone. 2 years on the one seed with Tannehill.
The Belichick whispers will grow if they have a tough start. But I'm a believer in Daboll and I'm a believer in Joe Shane.
I agree with that. I'm a Daboll and Joe Shane believer.
Ron Rivera won coach of the year twice, Matthew. It can turn quickly for coaches of the year.
But I think they know what they working with right now. Brian Daboll damn sure know what he working with. You're right. Yeah. So
I believe in Daboll. I think they'll be better than expected this year. 500 type of team.
Either way, Malik Neighbors going to eat. I like this call. My only issue is that I don't know if it's that bold. Like, I mean,
not being drafted top 20.
He absolutely is not. No, I know.
So,
he is in every league I'm in.
I
have a lot of Malik Neighbors.
It's starting to catch up.
I didn't get him in any leagues. I feel left out.
If you play in a league with Giants fans, forget.
I got to trade.
You know what? We're going to start.
You got him in our league?
I believe I have him in our league. But, I'm in 25 leagues. I have him in probably 17 of those 25. But what I'll tell you is that we'll start a mid-season guillotine league. We'll let you get Malik Neighbors. You can start a guillotine league whenever you want during the season. I like, I was, me.
Neighbors on my
throw a little plug in there.
Yes.
Yeah, we're keeping the lights on.
For the company you now own.
Yes. Yes. Interesting.
1,000%.
Curious.
1,000% as I'm sitting there wearing a Fantasy Life t-shirt. You bet. Company man.
My next wide receiver prediction is I think that Cooper Kupp and Rashee Rice both outperform Puka Nacua, and Puka Nacua texts Jay Croucher asking him to remove him from a Twitter profile picture. Right. I just think that Nacua, one, he's been banged up in the preseason. It's a red flag. He's banged up in college. He plays a very physical brand. And I think that he's an injury risk. But more to the point, his final 10 regular season games last year, you know how many times he got caught more than 5 balls? Once. All of his production, well, not all of it, a big chunk of his production came in the first 4 weeks when Kupp was out of the lineup, and then a lot of it came in the back half of the season on these like 70-yard touchdowns, which are very difficult to count on. So I think that Kupp is going to be the number 1 wide receiver option for the Rams. And then Rashee Rice turned the corner in the second half of the season. I think there's this idea that, Xavier Worthy's there, Hollywood Brown's there. Now there's going to be all these guys taking away from Rashee Rice. I look at Worthy and Hollywood Brown as though they're like JJ Redick spacing the floor. And the guy who's really going to benefit from their presence is Rashee Rice. Those two guys are going to make it a lot easier for Rashee Rice. These crosses over the middle. I think the Rashee Rice is clearly the number 1 wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes. I think he has top 10 wide receiver upside this season.
If it wasn't for the off-the-field issues, Rashee Rice would have gone a lot higher in drafts. And the drafts rooms and the ADP hasn't caught up to the news and we've talked about this throughout the offseason, which is like the way the NFL generally works is that they wait until the legal case has been resolved in one way or the other, and then they will rule whether a suspension is warranted. And so Rashee Rice, who has not had his day in court, and again, everyone's innocent until proven guilty and all the evidence is seen. Once that happens, and then there's a determination on his legal status, then the NFL rule. The court case isn't until December.
Yeah.
So I think that if Rashee Rice gets suspended for the incident that happened in the offseason this year, that happens in 2025.
Yep.
And so once you take that specter out of it, I agree with you. If we're just talking about Rashee Rice, the football player, and not the human being, Rashee Rice, the football player, should have a monster year.
Yep.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.